Welcome to Streetz 993, your choice for hip hop and R&B. I am your host, Averianna, the personality. Guys, today's guest is a triple threat singer, songwriter, musician, and producer, guys. He is a Grammy and Dove Award winner known for working with other industry vets such as Maya, Ray J, David Banner, Quincy Jones, just to name a few, guys. Today we welcome Rudy Currence. How are you?
What's going on, y'all? I'm so grateful to be here, man. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Well, like I said, we really appreciate your time. So, just a little icebreaker. Tell us how your Easter was. I know it's very different this year.
It was cool, but it didn't feel like Easter, if I be honest. Normally I spend Easters with my family. I'm from Rock Hill, South Carolina. PK, preacher's kid, grew up playing and singing in my dad's church back home. I was here in Atlanta serving, which is also a great thing. So I was singing at a local church here. So it was all, it's a blessing to be able to do my thing and do what I love to do, especially on such an amazing day like Resurrection Sunday. But it's weird, the pandemic and everything. It was one of a select few dates that I did actually in a live setting with, people in the audience, the congregation. So, but it was great.
I was gonna say, I know you enjoyed that, being able to actually connect physically with, people, just really other people outside of, your household.
Yeah, it's like trying to find that new normal right now.
It is. And I'm just happy that the world is opening back up. So getting straight into it, we got to talk about your accolades. Tell us how it felt, to have a #1 song on Billboard for 2 weeks and it be announced on your birthday.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I got the news on my birthday that the song, it went #1 on the Billboard Gospel Airplay charts. It stayed there for 2 consecutive weeks. To be an indie artist, that's almost unheard of. Yeah. The second week, I also landed the #1 spot on the Gospel Songwriter chart because I wrote and produced the song "I Belong Here" as well. So it's amazing because as you had mentioned, I'm humbled and grateful for all the opportunities that I've gotten throughout my career, and just the amazing people that I've gotten to work with. But in a lot of ways, I've always been, associated with, or you know what I mean, like a producer for, or featured on, and so to have a moment, as an artist, it was a milestone, and it's just a testimony of hard work paying off.
Yes, blessed. We're so proud of you. Congratulations to you again.
Thank you.
Could we go in a little deeper, and talk about how this song was created to create a masterpiece, you know what I'm saying, that connects with the world. Tell us, what it was you did to create such a universal song.
Wow. And I'll often say this too, I'm not going to sit here in front like I wasn't hoping for a #1 record. I wanted a #1 record. I think every artist should want that,
Exactly.
But even beyond the accolades, I'm grateful to have such a timely message. I wrote "I Belong Here" literally several years ago, probably about 5 years ago at this point. And it really was more of a personal affirmation to me. I've been in the industry for a while. As you mentioned, I've written and worked with a lot of people. And sometimes, things can kind of you get weary. You're like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm really making an impact. I don't know if I'm still relevant, and God was kind of reminding me, like, there's a place for you. Like, I created you with all this purpose and all these gifts and this musical talents and so forth. Fast forward to, the last 12, 13 months, didn't know we would be in a pandemic. We released "I Belong Here" right as the pandemic was kicking off and the world was shutting down. And then the song took on this, bigger, revelation and this bigger, deeper meaning, because a lot of people were isolated, sheltering in place. People were starting to lose loved ones. People were losing their jobs. People were starting to become anxious and deal with depression. And, everybody's trying to find their rhythm in life. And so "I Belong Here" speaks to so many things. The George Floyd incident happened, and so many other civil unrest situations in this country happened. People needed to know that they have a place in this world, that they belong here, that they have community, that they're loved. And so I'm just grateful again that the song speaks to so many people in so many different ways, and it's always applicable.
I love it. I love to hear that, because God is always strategic. And I tell people, to the local artists, to the mainstream artists that come through here, it's all about timing. you know, and hear you say, you know, I wrote this song 5 years ago and here we are, you know, celebrate. So it's just all about time. And so I love to hear you, someone who's in the industry, to say that to the people and have that transparency. So I really
and truth is too, God's timing is always perfect, and a lot of times we can get there again. Like I was struggling, like it's like, yo, I mean, I'm putting in the work, I'm doing this, I'm being at the right places I feel like at the right time, and it's just things don't seem like they're lining up for me, but look where I'm at now because I stayed the course. Yes. And so I want to encourage other creatives or anybody that's aspiring to do anything out there, anybody with ambition. You know, a lot of times we get caught up at looking at the highlight reels on social media, and you start comparing and contrasting your life, and you need to realize that no matter what you see, that there's still a plan. God has a plan for you, and you still belong in this world, and you're going to do all the things that he promised you that will happen in your life is going to happen.
That's it. And he just spoke it. I don't even have a follow-up. For those who, you know, may not be, you know, familiar with, you know, your entire journey, tell us a little bit about your musical background and, you know, some of, like I named a few, but some of the other people, Kirk Franklin, you know, and others that you have worked with.
Yeah, so of course I mentioned before, my family is extremely important to me, so I thank God for them. To me, I tell everybody they're the real superstars. I grew up playing and singing in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I started singing at the age of 3. My parents put me in piano lessons at the age of 6. My dad, who is a pastor, also plays and sings. His whole musical side, you know, my dad's side is everybody's musical. Somebody plays, sings, does something. And in fact, my brother, Michael Starr, he actually produced my last single, Testimony. So big shouts to Michael Starr. And my mom manages both of us. She's, you know, we've all gone to the Grammys together. But, you know, all of it started from, you know, 2 parents seeing their children be, you know, have these musical gifts, and they put us in, you know, our local band and choral programs in middle school, high school. My mom would take us around all these different church events that progressed into going and singing at the NBA, you know, games, singing the anthems and different things like that. We're in middle school. We all excited because we get to go sing the anthem, you know what I mean, at the local, you know, at our local, you know, NBA games and stuff like that. Then we got a chance to go to the Apollo and sing. This is all happening before we graduated from high school, you know, so we've been doing music our whole lives. And then I went to Furman University, majored in music, classical piano, classical voice. And so even during that time, I had a record deal. My mom would pick me up on Fridays, take me down to Atlanta. We'd be in the studio from Friday night till Sunday night, you know, find a church service or something to do during the day, and then back to school on Monday. Like, it was just almost like just a routine. So that's all I've known my whole life. And so from there, you know, I've just gotten the opportunity to work with so many people. I've written for Maya, Ray J, had a song in the Born Identity movie, got to work and be featured on Quincy Jones' single. We shot the video in LA, did ABC's The View, BET, got to write, produce, and be featured on David Banner's single, Grammy nominated for Karen Clark Sheard, Grammy and Dove Award for Lecrae. And then, you know, then you got I Belong Here that came along. Oh, and #Hope featuring David Banner. So it's, you know, God is good. You know, I'm just grateful for every opportunity. Little Rock Hill, South Carolina, PK, doing big things in the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing. I love to hear it. I want to talk about, you know, the music video you created for I Belong Here. I know we kind of like got away from that, but I want to talk about that because, you know, it includes all walks of life all over the world. You know, what was the thought process behind that? I mean, I know you released it, like you said, during COVID or at the peak of COVID, but was this visual thought of prior to or in the midst of?
Everything kind of was in the midst of and a workaround because of the circumstances. You know, we had to figure out creative ways because in a lot of ways people weren't able to gather and shoot like they normally would. Right. But I'm so grateful for the work that I produced during this pandemic. Big shouts to Reed Craft, who shot most of the music videos. The Global Edition video, which is the video I think you're referring to, even the lyric video, everything had to be done, you know, strategically because, you know, the world wasn't open. Right. But the Global Edition video, we just put the call out, man. I let a lot of people, my family, friends, and fans know around the world. I wanted to do something virtual, almost like a We Are the World 2021, 2020, 2021, you know, feel to it. And we got a great response. We ended up having almost more videos than we could use, about 67 videos, people from all over the world, from South Africa to New Zealand, Brazil, Paris, London, of course, all over the States, Hawaii. Like, it was just crazy how many people this song resonated with, and they wanted to be a part of it. And I didn't want to just do another, I hate to say another Zoom video, but you saw a lot of Zoom videos happening during that time. As an artist, I always want to like think outside the box. So that's really what inspired the Global Edition video.
I love that. I love that. So you, like you just mentioned, you also recently released the remix Hope by David Banner. Tell us a little bit more about that and how that collaboration came about.
Wow. So the song is #Hope. And it's so crazy because I wrote, kind of like I Belong Here, I wrote #Hope actually when the Eric Garner case happened. And when he was dying, he said, "I can't breathe." So it inspired me to write that because it broke my heart. And then being in this pandemic, it hit different when George Floyd died and said, "I can't breathe." He said the same 3 words because we all witnessed it. We all saw it. You know what I mean? We had allies coming from different communities that we've never seen before, and God just kind of like placed on my heart, like, yo, this is the time. You got to put this song out now. So I actually initially released it, and I got the approval from Killer Mike, who is also an MC and civil rights activist, based here in Atlanta, from Atlanta. And so we got him on the intro, and then when we went back and did the remix, I sent it to my big bro. I'm like, yo, Banner, what you think about this? He said, send me the track. And of course, he laced it with his fire verse. And I was really appreciative because, my stance is probably more, comparable to Martin Luther King, peaceful protest, and his was, a little bit more like maybe a Malcolm X, but both perspectives are very real, and they're both relevant and very necessary to be heard. So I was grateful. And as a matter of fact, a couple weeks ago when the NBA All-Stars was here in Atlanta, #Hope, the remix, was synced and featured during the opening segment. So that was it's like God's timing.
It is. That's why I say he's always on time, and I just think it's amazing. Rudy, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Here at Streetz 993, we always like to host a space for our guests to manifest and affirm things for themselves. So tell us, in the next 6 months, 2 things you would like to manifest for yourself.
Wow. Definitely this album, Stained Glass Windows. I'm excited about that. I'm releasing this faith-based album. It's, just really honoring my roots in the community and as a believer. I'm excited about this. I want to manifest that into the world, but in a major way. I want everybody to be able to, I believe God is calling me to be a bridge between a lot of different communities, secular and sacred, white evangelical and gospel, or contemporary gospel. Like, there's so many ways in the world that we kind of move in our own little pods in our own communities, and I want to be a bridge that kind of brings us together even more, just like what I Belong Here kind of symbolizes. Let's see, another thing that I want to manifest, just even more financial freedom, and also with this pandemic going on, just speaking life, health, and wealth over my family, my community, because there's so many spiritual attacks that are going on, and so much stuff going on with COVID, so I try to daily, just speak life over them. And I want to say real quick, big shouts to y'all in Nashville. Thank you so much for the love. I got to shout out my label, Gina, and everybody over at E1 Nashville. They've shown me so much love. Omega, Darnell, Paul, just everybody over there. And also all of my frat over at Fisk University. I'm a Kappa, but also an honorary member of Phi Mu Alpha at the Fisk chapter. So I appreciate all my brothers over at Fisk University for showing me love, and everybody in Nashville.
Rudy, look, I didn't even know that. So look, I love you even more beyond connecting with you, through your creativity. Tell us how we can continue to keep up with you on all social media platforms and continue to stream your music.
Definitely. Well, make sure y'all follow me on social media. It's at Rudy Currence. That's at RudyCurrence. Twitter is a little different, at Rudy_Currence. YouTube, I got a lot of amazing videos and visuals out there. Just type in my name, Rudy Currence. The YouTube page is doing well. We have over almost 45,000 subscribers. Last I checked, it was about 6.7 million channel views. Also, make sure you add I Belong Here #Hope to your playlist. Download the songs, stream them, share them. You know what I mean? Stay in touch with me. Also, you can visit my website, rudycurrence.com. If you want to sign up for the email list, or if you have any booking inquiries, you can find me.
All right, y'all. That was Rudy Currence right here on the street.